Hello there, welcome to this week's episode of Curious News. This time I want to talk about Bill Cosby and the recent scandals in the news. They're pretty much all over the world at this point. So, from what I understand, it pretty much blew up back in 2000 and 2005 were the first two allegations, but then in 2014 there was a total of over 35 women, 2014 and 2015, there was a total of over 35 women who've all come forward to claim that they were drugged or raped by Bill Cosby. And these allegations aren't new. I mean, the first one was made in 2000 by a Miss Lachelle Covington. She was a 20-year-old actress who claimed that she was inappropriately touched, but nothing really happened with that. There was no proof, and it wasn't really a rape allegation. But then in 2005, Andrea Constand sued Mr. Cosby for full-on sexual assault, but that case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum later on in 2006. So again, just kind of brushing it under the carpet, really, not really. There wasn't really much public coverage, it wasn't really in the news at the time. But then, 8 years on, after most people had forgotten about the allegations at all, there was a comedian named Hannibal Buress who made a Cosby rape joke at one of his shows, and it really snapped everyone in America awake and really showed them, it kind of reminded them that these allegations that were brushed under the carpet so fast, and over a period of time people just forgot about the whole ordeal. But this Hannibal Buress comedian just completely woke up America to the thought again of the fact that Bill Cosby was a rapist, or is a rapist, and that he did rape. And he was so famous in America because he was the father of TV, and many say he was the first person to really open up television to the middle-class black communities. A really good family television, and he's also famous for stuff like, his Jello pot things. What are they called? Jello pudding pot. He was famous for those commercials, and he had his own Cosby show, all that. So when these allegations came out, no one wanted to believe it was true because he was such a key figure in American TV. He was a very big part of the programming over there. So obviously no one wanted to believe that this was true. That's probably why it was so easily forgotten. But now people are still talking about it, and it kind of woke everyone up to the fact. In 2014 alone, following Hannibal's show, dozens of women came forward to share their scarily similar stories of being drugged and abused by Cosby. Now this is interesting because I find it hard to believe that all these women's stories can be so similar and still all be true. It is hard to believe when you see something this shocking having happened so long ago, and he did it to so many different women. It's naturally hard to comprehend it as truth. But yeah, for the most part, Bill Cosby remained silent throughout the whole ordeal. His legal team did most of his talking for him, with all the denials they had to make for all the allegations. But he has spoken about it, and a few times referenced to the whole in interviews and stuff, like the one with ABC where he said that it isn't something he talks about, it's not something he wanted to talk about. And in another interview he said that the accusations against him were just innuendos, and that he shouldn't have to go through them. This whole thing, she said that a man shouldn't have to go through these kind of things. In interviews like the one with ABC where he said that it isn't something he talks about, it's not something he wanted to talk about. And in another interview he said that the accusations against him were just innuendos, and that he shouldn't have to go through them. This whole thing, she said that a man shouldn't have to go through these kind of things. And following that, many live shows of Cosby's were cancelled across the country thanks to people protesting, saying that he shouldn't be allowed, in the light of the recent allegations, for him to act on stage in front of people, considering every sentence on the news right now has his name next to the word rape. So yeah, probably don't want him on stage across the country. And then in November 2014, NBC scrapped the plans for a new show with Mr. Cosby, following allegations by TV presenter Janice Dickinson for assault back in 1982. Also, the repeats of The Cosby Show have been pulled from programming too, so yeah, they're pretty much just pulling down everything he has, trying to get him off as many screens as possible. seeing as he's pretty much just everyone, more and more people every day are becoming enlightened to the fact that he is a rapist, and yeah, people don't want that on TVs and to be recognized as part of their channel. Another interesting one of these allegations was in December 2014, where Judy Huth placed her allegation against Cosby for molestation of her at 15 years old in 1974. This is where Cosby countersued, saying that she was trying to entitle herself to money. So I haven't seen any other of the allegations been countersued by Cosby. So is it possible that he only countersued this one because this was the one he didn't do? You know, it was the one rape he didn't commit. And does that mean that all the other ones are true, that he hasn't countersued? Or would he countersue if the other allegations sued him? That's the real question. Would he only countersue the ones where he knew were false? Or are they all true and he will countersue every single one? I don't know. Who knows these days? There are a lot of debates on the internet over the whole discussion area about, you know, these allegations are from 20, 30, 40, some even 50 years ago. Why didn't they come forward before? Why didn't they come forward sooner? Because in America they have this law. No, it's not. It's what's it called? A limit to how long you can leave your court case for. It's like if you're raped, then what's it called? Statutes of limitations. There it is. In America, they have this statute of limitations where it's a time limit in which a person has to file their claim. If the time limit expires, the individual who wished to make the claim is barred from doing so. So the reasons for the limit include witnesses moving or dying, or an increased chance of evidence being lost or degraded. So they prefer, it would be a lot easier for them to take the cases to court as soon as the incident happens. If you wait too long, then they say the evidence can be lost or degraded and your case gets weaker over time, basically. The limitation differs from state to state. So a lot of these women are from across the country now because they've all moved. That's kind of the whole point of the limitations, that it's been too long. And in court cases, people in courts, all the lawyers are saying, especially Cosby's lawyer, Martin D. Singer, saying stuff like, it's been way too long since these allegations are being claimed to have happened, these incidents, and that there's no way any of them could be proved right. But that doesn't mean that they never happened, right? I mean, I don't know how you would prove them right, especially the ones that happened, you know, closer to 40, 50 years ago. I don't see how they could come up with substantial evidence to really stick it to Cosby. But honestly, even though they haven't taken him to court and they've just made allegations on the news and people are learning about what their stories are, even that has already affected Cosby's life so much. All of his shows have been pulled. He's not going to get any live shows anywhere. Even he did a charity walk across a bridge to try and promote education in the Black Belt around a certain place in America. I can't remember. Hold on. Alabama. That's it. He's trying to promote education in the Black Belt around Alabama, and after the organizations